Well, hello there, Old Man Kelly here, Jeff to my friends, and you can call me Jeff. Today I want to talk about another one of those films that were made before I was born. The 1944 film noir classic Double Indemnity. It's another one of those films that are, well, as close to perfect as a film can be. It's wonderful. But way back in the day when I first saw this film, I had a problem with it, and that was Fred MacMurray. You see, to me, well, as a kid, Fred MacMurray was the kind-hearted father of Mike, Robbie, Chip, and Ernie in the long-running television series My Three Sons, and he was also the absent-minded professor. You know, the dude who invented Flubber? But in Double Indemnity, he's not a good-hearted guy. In fact, and this is a spoiler, he's the killer. Now, don't worry if you've never seen the film before, you find it out really early on. See, he's an insurance salesman who gets, well, seduced by Barbara Stanwyck, and the two end up murdering her husband for the insurance money. You know, as soon as they meet, this is not going to end well. And Barbara Stanwyck, wow! From the minute you see her in that towel till she walks down the stairs with the ankle bracelet, it's amazing. And here's a tip for you young filmmakers. Sexy and being nude aren't the same thing. Anyway, Stanwyck has a daughter who thinks something's wrong, and her daughter has a boyfriend who's a sketchy character. The film is basically one of those perfect murder stories that turns out not to be so perfect. But the best part of the film to me is Edward G. Robinson. And believe it or not, in this film, he does not play a gangster. In fact, he's a good guy. Edward G. Robinson is always fantastic in everything. I mean, he's really an acting treasure, and I love him. He plays Fred MacMurray's boss who listens to this little man in his head or his gut, and this little man is telling him that this accidental death wasn't so accidental. Billy Wilder was perhaps America's greatest filmmaker, and he co-wrote the story with Raymond Chandler, the master of the crime story. It was based on a novella by James A. Cain. Cain based his story on a real-life 1927 case in which a New York woman persuaded her boyfriend to kill her husband after she took out a large insurance policy on him, with a double indemnity clause. The two were caught and given the electric chair in Sing Sing. Now, if you're going to tell me you don't know who Billy Wilder was, well, first, I'd be speechless. Then I would tell you that he directed The Fortune Cookie, 1, 2, 3, The Apartment, Some Like It Hot, The Spirit of St. Louis, The 7-Year Itch, Stalag 17, Sabrina, Ace in the Hole, Sunset Boulevard, The Lost Weekend, and many more. Comedies, dramas, biopics. Billy Wilder just made good movies. The cinematographer for this film was John Seitz, who also did The Lost Weekend and Sunset Boulevard. It was in this film, however, he created the Venetian blinds lighting. That's where the shadow of the Venetian blinds causes a sort of horizontal jail bar effect. It's a shot that's been copied many times since, and he actually received an Academy Award nomination for his work in this film, which is understandable because it's beautifully shot. An interesting note, in the novella it ends with a double suicide, but because of the Hays Code in Hollywood, suicide was forbidden. So the original ending was written with Fred MacMurray going to the gas chamber, but Billy Wilder thought at the last minute that seemed unnecessary, so we end up with the ending we have today. Anyway, that's really all I have to say about this film. It's perfect, it's brilliant, it's always on Turner Classic Movies, and it's required viewing to anybody who has an interest in film. This is Old Man Kelly, thanks for watching.